Ruddens, the setter for USC, will start off. You see some tape on her right hand. She earlier this year broke her hand, and yet she still is setting. Hawaii starts it off with a big crush there by number 2, Missy Yomes, a 5'7" junior out of Hawaii. Now, Hawaii will play a 6-2 offense. We're going to watch USC in a 5-1 offense. Same setter every time with a good pass.
Right, 6-2 offense, meaning that Hawaii will have 2 setters. That one just kind of fell over the net for the Trojans, and USC will be running a 5-1 offense. They only have 1 setter. The way they serve the ball with Ruddens serving the ball, that is their strongest rotation right there, because they have 3 of their biggest hitters in the front, and Ruddens can just come up and set.
Well, Dana Smith, one of the better players that time, hit it out for USC, so it's a side out. Remember, you can only score when your team serves. For instance, right there, a point for Hawaii, and they go on the scoreboard to lead 1-0.
Right away, Hawaii is serving to Janice Johnson, who is a freshman in the back row, not a strong backcourt player. Again, does not get a second set up.
Dietrich Collins tries to go over on one, doesn't make it though. So we've got a side out. USC will serve. There's Dietrich Collins. Good look at her, number 12, 5'11" junior. Dana Smith serves it for USC.
That was a great hit by Hawaii, because they went over the 2 big blockers for USC, Devereaux and Clark.
And that's where USC thinks their best is on the outside. They're both blocking and hitting.
When Clark is on the left side right there. Hawaii is going to try and make the Trojans every time right there when they set Clark like that, because Hawaii is a short team. They're going to try to make them hit to the defense. And at both times, Dietrich Collins was able to dig that ball right away.
Take a look at this. Was a point for Hawaii right here, this last play. Ball did not go over. They lead 2-0. Serve's going to go way out. They say there's some air currents here with the high ceiling in the A.G. Spano Center, University of Pacific, and the ball does waver a little bit, and it's easy to hit it out. And I guess you could say it's easy to hit it short, too.
I think both teams are a little bit tense right now. Hawaii, again, they should be the favorite, being ranked number 1, and actually the more experienced team, because they USVBA, they won this summer with this team, so they are the much more experienced team right there. And Pulaski comes out with a nice spike down.
That's why they call her the Hammer, 5'8" junior from Balboa Island, Newport Beach, California.
Again, serving to Johnson.
Okay, there's a big hit by Tracy Clark for a side out for USC, and we said that there's 3 freshmen in the starting lineup for USC. This first game is very important, and they're down 3-0. Maybe the nervous jitters. Serve goes out.
Freshman serve. Again, now they have Devereaux in the back, and Hawaii will probably try and to serve her. They're going to keep the ball away from Dana Smith because she's a great passer.
Corey Pulaski serves for Hawaii. Kind of missed the hit there, Dana Smith. Good enough, though.
Again, what is happening? SC cannot find the seams, and Hawaii is forcing SC to hit to the defense.
Good hit. The blockers just weren't up and ready for that. And also, there'll be Portland at San Diego. Bill Walton will probably be playing in that game for San Diego. Okay, we're back to action here after the timeout. We've got a side out. So now USC trying to get on track. Tracy Clark, just a freshman from El Toro High School in El Toro, California, serves it. A quick low set hit by and put away by Lisa Strand.
Hawaii is really mixing up their sets. They're going to the middle, they're going to the outside, and they're basically stronger in the middle when Dietrich Collins is in the front, but that time they went to Strand.
It's going to be saved. Not saved enough, though.
I guess the cameraman doesn't count as a referee.
One of our cameramen were down there, but not necessarily in the way. 5-0, Hawaii leads it. Lisa Strand, number 5, puts the ball in play. Hard serve. Runs with an outside set. Dana Smith really goes up high and crushes it. We've got a net call on Santa Barbara.
That was a great hit by Dana Smith. She gets up really high. Tough set right there by Ruddens, and Smith just puts it away.
Strand with the pass. Pulaski with the set. She is one of the setters for Santa Barbara, and then it was put down. USC couldn't get it up, so it's a side out.
Again, they went to Dietrich Collins right in the middle. When she's up front, they'll try and go to her. USC has not passed the ball well at all in this first game.
A side out. Yeah, this is a major upset right now in the making. Not an upset necessarily that Hawaii wins the game, but to be leading 5-0 here.
Well, what's surprising too, Lynn, is the fact that Hawaii wanted to come out, and because they are a shorter team, quicker, very aggressive, they wanted to rally with SC because they're such a powerful team. But they're coming out and putting the ball down for kills.
Yep, they are. Dana Smith that time hits the ball out, so it's a side out. USC had a good chance to make a point. Missy Yomes puts it in play. Clark with a pass. Ruddens with a good set. Big hit by Devereaux, but it is blocked. Back over.
Great block by the Wahinis. It's very important for the middle blocker to get over there, which Collins did, and to turn her hands. She is the key to the block. Where if she can close the block, if she can close the block, then the ball will usually comes back down on the other side.
Side out as we have a net call. Wink Davenport. The referee called it. Joyce Ka'apuni with a bump set. It's blocked. You still have 3 hits. They can get it over, and they do. Deidre Collins hits it.
And that is a free ball right there when after 3 hits and the ball goes over high. And the defensive team has time to set up their offense and return for a 3-set hit.
6-1. USC gets on the scoreboard. Dana Smith will serve for the Trojans. Nice hit. It's dug. It's going to go over. So Deidre Collins goes up and puts it down.
Hawaii is really mixing up their sets really well. Here you have a crossover behind the back set. Number 2 puts it down. Good dig by Ruddens, but that is the best set in volleyball when you have an overset like that.
That's right. That's right. No one up to block it.
I think right here, Coach Chuck Irby is going with the substitution in the back row.
Yeah, as you had mentioned earlier, he's not getting good passing at all as we look at Deidre Collins, number 12 for Hawaii. So into the game comes Lisa Niedringhaus, who is an excellent backcourt player. They serve to her, and she makes an almost perfect pass.
Well, again, too, when you have a new player coming into the game, you want to go right to them because they're cold.
It's a dink. Kapuni sets it outside. Good block by the Trojans on that side. The low set. Lisa Strand drills it down. Lisa Strand, a 6-foot sophomore from Santa Barbara. Look at it again.
That's a number 1 set, blocked by SC right there. Good set by Ka'apuni. Put it right above the net, and Strand was right there to put it away.
Serve's going to go out. Deidre Collins serves out for Hawaii as they have a commanding 8-1 lead here in the first game.
And that is 2 service errors by Collins.
Collins with a pass. That hit's going to go out by Pulaski. That's Chris Pulaski. She's got a sister Corey in there also.
And Chris, as a matter of fact, Chris Pulaski has taken over setting for Hanaku Brown, who was an tough setter for Hawaii last year.
Right, remember Hawaii will use 2 setters. Chris Pulaski and Joyce Ka'apuni. USC will use only 1 in the 5-1 attack. Kim Ruddens, number 3. USC making a move now, 3-8. Big block, but it goes out, so we've got a side out.
Pulaski right there used the blockers. What you try to do on the offense when you hit and you have 2 blockers up, if you're going to hit into them, you try to use their hands so the ball will go out.
Dinking it over in 2 was Ruddens, but Hawaii had it. Tracy Clark crushes it. Hawaii will get it over. That was a big hit.
Super hustle. Free ball.
We've got a call.
Net play. Great play. Here, good pass right there. Good back set, only 1 blocker up. That was a good set by Ka'apuni by going to the back set because she only had 1 blocker against her.
Once again, Hawaii serves the ball out. We're going to have substitution now in the rotation.
Johnson will come back into the front court.
Niedringhaus, not quite as tall. She'll come out. Janice Johnson, who stands in at 6 foot. She's a freshman from Wheaton, Illinois, will come in and play the front court. Dana Smith with a good dig. And Janice Johnson, who just came, or Margaret Grant rather, was in there, and she shouldn't have been because Kim Ruddens, the setter, was right there to set it.
Right, Margaret Grant, a senior, should have known that Kim Ruddens should have taken the ball.
And it's 9-3, Hawaii leads. Goes out, they called a hit by Tracy Clark out.
That was a cross play by SC, mixing up their offense, and the ball went out of bounds.
Chuck Irby very upset at that call, wants to call timeout, his second timeout. So we'll come back here with Hawaii leading 10-3 in the NCAA championships. There's your score in the first game. We're watching the NCAA Women's Division I Volleyball Championships best of 5 match. Best of 5 games, each game to 15. Tracy Clark, you may see there, hits the ball not only down, but with a good spin. That ball actually curved there.
She hit that from the right side, did not have enough time to switch over to the left side, which she is a left side hitter.
We're gonna have a call here. Number 6 at USC into the net, Janice Johnson, the freshman.
Johnson's having a tough time in this first game.
Well, she's a freshman too. First time she ever played an NCAA championship game. Big hit by Dana Smith. Great block by Hawaii. They block it again, but this time on their own side.
Dana Smith used the block again very well. The block did not get over the net, and the ball went out of bounds on them. The other night, USC playing San Diego State, 50 or 60% of their sets went to Dana Smith or Tracy Clark. And Tracy Clark likes to hit cross court. She had 40 kill attempts.
Wow.
And 38 of those times she went cross court. So they're going to try to force her to go down the line and try and force Dana Smith to go cross court, whereas Dana Smith likes to go down the line.
We come back with a side out, a substitution. Joyce Ka'apuni comes back into the lineup. Or no, Leanne Pastana comes in for Hawaii.
Another service there by Hawaii. They've got to realize, just get the ball over the net and then let SC come back. And it's like tennis. You've got to get your serve in.
Yeah, but you don't get 2 chances.
That's right. Can't double fault.
USC's coming back now. It's 5-10.
The set, she just followed right through into the net.
A double on the bump or pass attempt by Hawaii. And Hawaii coach Dave Choji decides he'd better call timeout.
Well, what's happening now too, Lynn, is you talk to most of the coaches, not only here up in the Nationals, but around the country. Everything is so much more even today.
Right.
And players are staying close to home, and you'll get more of the Hawaiians going to Hawaii and more of the Californians staying close. And the teams are very, very even nowadays, not only in volleyball, but in all the sports. Here, Tracy Clark sets to the right side, and Margaret Grant did. There you could see Deidre Collins did not close the block, and the ball went off her hand and went in between.
And USC is fighting back. It is now 7-10. I will always give the serving team score first, even though it may be lower. Deidre Collins, big hit, but it's blocked. Pulaski tries to dink it over. Good block again by the Trojans. They're blocking everything right now. Rudden sets outside. Hit goes out.
No touch.
Margaret Grant, number 8, hit it out for USC. Side out.
Sometimes it's Hawaii's benefit being short, because when you get such a powerful hitters as SC, they try to go into the block and you miss that block and the ball goes out of bounds.
Ka'apuni with kind of a sloppy set. Hawaii gets it over though.
Again, you try to see Dana Smith go down the line.
Remember, on a block like that, you can still hit it 3 more times. Block won't count. That ball is called out. Also a point for Hawaii. They lead 11-7 here, first game. There's Wink Davenport, one of the heavyweights in volleyball officiating.
And a very good one, too. He's always in the Nationals.
Dink by Dana Smith. They expect her to hit so hard that
that
she changes
position
it
right
up.
there, Pulaski and Collins went up for a block over here, and they did not get up high enough, and Collins reached back instead of relying on her defensive player behind her to get the ball.
Dietrich Collins with a dink that works. USC just can't get it up.
And again, SC did the same thing. Sometimes the blocker going up to block should not reach back, because even though they get a hand on the ball, the team has somebody there in position to get the ball.
Marcy Wirtz, good backcourt player and server, comes in, also to give Dietrich Collins a rest.
Well, what happened in the Stanford game with Hawaiʻi, they went 5 games. There's a net play on Hawaiʻi, but Dietrich Collins, Hawaiʻi went 5 games against Stanford Friday night, and Collins has that bad tendonitis in her leg, and she was happy not to play the back row. So they're trying to rest her when she is in the back row and bring her in the front court.
No one touched that hit. It goes out. That's a point for USC, 8-11.
And USC is gradually coming back.
Block goes out, so it's a side out.
Right here on the side next to us is Coach Chuck Irving. You heard him say, turn it in, turn it in. Again, that outside blocker has to turn her hands in so the ball will drop inside.
Good eye that time by Margaret Grant. Lets the ball go out wisely, side out.
A lot of SC's offense is going to depend on Kim Ruddens. She really controls it, and that play right there where she tips it over the middle, where even though she can either set the ball or dump it over the front like that, she's really hurt a lot of teams.
That hit by Margaret Grant is just gone near the end line. It's good. It's a point for the Trojans. Here it is, right here.
Hawaiʻi gets it back, and SC just puts it deep where Hawaiʻi was not.
Anytime you know you can hit it without the blockers up, it's a good idea to hit. Now there's a weakness right there for Hawaiʻi. One of their setters, Joyce Ka'apuni, not as good a hitter as some of the others had to hit, and she was blocked very effectively. And we're back to live action here.
That was the same play before we saw the timeout, with Ka'apuni hitting on the left side and using the blockers. That time SC did not block it, and Hawaiʻi was able to get the ball down. But what Hawaiʻi has to do, because SC is such a big team, especially on the outside, they have to hit by the blockers. They have to use the blockers. Cannot try to overpower SC, because they are much more, they're a much stronger team than Hawaiʻi is.
One of the great names in sports, Candy Kane, in there serving the ball now. USC basically will only substitute one player the whole night, they say. Hawaiʻi will do a little bit more in the way of substituting, give players a rest, and try to keep a strong front line, strong backcourt going all the time. 12-10, a point for Hawaiʻi. Candy Kane serves it. Big hit by Clark. They know where it's going, though, so they block her. Runs with a back set. It can only be dinked over. No one was there to hit it. Good hit down the line. It's going to be good play. Great save by Ka'apuni. Crowd loves it. Clark, though, for the 3rd time, puts it down.
Point in the net.
That's right. They call her for hitting the net. Let's look at this save, as Ka'apuni had to go into the first row to do it.
Super hustle, and then you just get the ball back over the net. Good set by Ruddens, and Clark followed through into the net.
13-10, 2 points away from victory, and the first game is Hawaiʻi. Down at one time, 5-0.
That was a tough decision by Wirtz, because that ball would have been out.
Candy Kane comes out. Back in is Corey Pulaski.
Imagine going through life with that name.
I think your parents knew what
Yeah.
they were doing. Hey, there's a good hit.
It's exactly
by Missy Yomes.
That's exactly what Hawaiʻi wants, but not SC. SC also, they want them to, Hawaiʻi to hit by the blockers, but they were not in defensive position.
Good block. Dietrich Collins among the others. Now Dietrich Collins will hit it.
Good up, good up.
Ka'apuni, it's hit, so it is a good play by Hawaiʻi.
Hawaiʻi wants to get into a rally like that, because SC is such a big team, they can't get going. Collins down, great hit by Clark, good up.
Point game for Hawaiʻi as we come back live. Side out. Remember, it's best of 5 games. The NCAA Division I championship on the line. USC's won 10 matches in a row, and they have won their last 12 straight games. So this would be the first time in 13 games they would lose a game if they were to lose this. That hit's going to go way out.
And no touch.
No one touched it. Side out. Once again, point game for the second time for the Rainbow Wahinis of Hawaii.
Sometimes that's that kind of aura that UCLA has in basketball with John Wooden and playing in Pauley Pavilion. And that's how a lot of people feel about SC. They've won the national championship 4 out of 5 times, and they have not lost, as you said, the last 12 matches, and it kind of hangs there.
No one touched it. Ball goes out, side out. Yeah, I think that a lot of people feel that USC is invincible in playoff games and tournament time, but Hawaii has not looked like they're scared one bit here in the first game. Real good veteran team.
Well, the fact, too, with them being ranked #1 and them being beat last year by USA, they really want to win this game, I think, tonight and kind of prove, because last year they were ranked #1 also, and they were upset.
Here's their attempt to try to win the game right here.
Over to the left side.
Some great blocking by USC.
Right.
Dietrich Collins, you can see what a force she is in the middle right there.
That's a great set by Kaupuni. The thing is, SC knows the set is going to go to Collins up front, but they just did not get their blockers together.
Point game again, 3rd time for Hawaii. No, bad set. Joyce Kahapuni is called for throwing the ball. It's got to come out of those hands cleanly, or somewhat cleanly.
Not all the time.
If you can get away with it, it doesn't have to be clean. Dana Smith to serve for USC. Nice serve. Nice serve and a bad pass. It was missed that time by Missy Yomes. Tracy Clark, just a freshman, probably starting to settle down a little bit there for USC as they're right back in it. There's your score.
We're sitting over here on the sidelines by the USC bench. No touch. Another point for USC. But with Coach Chuck Irby here, he has his pad out, and what he does to the server, he'll hold up a number, #1 or
right.
#3 with his finger.
He tells them where to serve it.
Right, and there are different positions on the court. The #1 position is right there where the ball just went to the server position. #2 spot is the right front. And then so forth, it goes around in a circle. And SC right now is serving to the correct positions.
Okay, that hit was out. That's a side out. So once again, Hawaii can win it. It's 14-13. Collins serves. Who's going to pass it? Clark with a big hit. Kim Rudden sure saved that because she didn't have much of a pass to work with on the set.
That was a big hit by Clark because that time she used the blockers. She tried to go down the line. She has gone down the line twice now, or tried to. And all the other attempts have been cross court.
Clark will set this. Kim Rudden just bumps it over.
Great up.
Great play by USC. And we're tied at 14. We must win by 2. Long point. Let's look at the first save.
Kim Ruddens is really right there to Janice Johnson. Kim Ruddens dumping the ball over. Great save by Collins and up by Kaupuni.
Coming back live, we're tied at 14. Hawaii misplays it.
Missed the set. There's so much timing involved on that #1 set. A #1 set is to the middle, and it's a short set, so it does not give the defense time enough to go up for the block, and they just missed their timing.
What a comeback by the Trojans. They were down 5-0. They were down 8-2, and now they got game point. They can win it right here. They can win the first game. They do! Tremendous comeback by USC. That's got to be a devastating blow to Hawaii. Of course, a long way to go. It's best of 5 games. USC wins the first one, 16-14 here in the NCAA Women's Volleyball Championships.
That first game, Lynn, USC was not passing well, but the reason they came back was their blocking. They really blocked the ball well against Hawaii.
Yeah, their blocking is really impressive. Sure, using the dink a lot is USC. I think they feel they have the tall players and they can just dink right over those blocks. Wink Davenport, our referee, making the call right there.
That play right there, even though Hawaiʻi was in the net, they were called for netting. The dink by USC, one of the problems that Hawaiʻi had last Friday against Stanford was the fact that they were not covering the middle. And that play right there should be open all night. There again, nobody in the middle covering.
And the freshman, Leslie Devereaux, puts it down. Here it is again.
Good up. Ruddens is just setting very, very well. And Devereaux, she doesn't really hit the ball. I've never seen her power the ball, but she kind of pushes it. And
Yeah, that was a push. Yeah.
She'll push it to an area.
Janice Johnson, the freshman, puts the serve into the net, so Hawaiʻi serves. USC leading here in the second game, 1-0. Side out, big hit that time by Margaret Grant, the 6'2" senior. Margaret Grant hails from Manhattan Beach, California. Of course, we said earlier, most of these players are from California. The hit is going to go off the block.
That was a touch right there. USC was not able to close that block off.
Missy Yomes is the one who made the hit, and she will be putting the ball in play with the serve.
Again, serving to Janice Johnson, the freshman.
Good block. Dietrich Collins in there. Kahapuni with the set. There's Devereaux hitting the ball, but it's blocked. Kahapuni will set out to Pulaski. It's blocked, but USC can't get it up. No one home. We're tied at 1.
That was a great serve right there down the line.
Oh, there's a very sharp angle that time by Tracy Clark, number 10, the freshman.
Again, from the left side, when the set is that far outside, she will normally or naturally go cross court. And that time she did, and Hawaiʻi was not able to close the block, and SC serves into the net.
Margaret Grant was the culprit.
It's amazing. There really have been quite a few service errors tonight. A lot of them have hit the empty net.
A lot of that, and might be that they know the team they're playing is so good, they think they have to make a great serve.
Right.
And so they're kind of taking a risk. Rather than just put the ball into play, they're trying to hit a tough serve. Leslie Devereaux, the freshman, she gets it over. Pulaski with a big hit. It's blocked.
Good up by Kaupuni. Great block by USC right there. But again, you saw the ball come down. Good up by Kaupuni. Good set right there.
Yeah, that was.
Block went right up, and there nobody was there to cover.
That was
They just
Chris
let the ball drop.
Pulaski setting her sister Lori Pulaski. And USC once again with some effective blocking, and they jump out to a 3-1 lead here. We'll see what effect that first game had, winning USC coming back from behind to win it 16-14.
Hawaii's changing their service attack a little bit right here.
They're going to call a net here on the block on Santa Barbara, and it's going to be called on Lisa Strand.
There seems to be an air of confidence for the USC players right now, and maybe that does have an effect on their thinking.
And I think it's also, conversely, there's an air of lack of confidence on Hawaii's part after blowing that big lead and losing the game. I think they've momentarily kind of lost it, and they shouldn't. They're a veteran team. I wouldn't think they're going to fall apart. Good hit by Corey Pulaski. That's why they call her the Hammer. She went right through the block.
Joyce Kaupuni made that happen. She called the set, and it was a cross, and she back set that ball, and the blockers were not there.
Ooh, there's a nice block of a Clark hit, and Joyce Kaupuni decides that she's not going to wait to put it away.
Those feel so good when you can put it down a kill like that.
2-4. Oh, I don't know if she had to save it, but Dietrich Collins made a great save. Looked like it was going to go out. No touch. She hit it right into the net and then hit it again. Wink Davenport says that's a no-no.
Can't have 4 hits.
Tracy Clark.
And if you notice, when a blocker hits a ball, if a spiker hits a ball and you block it and the ball still comes over, that does not count as a hit. And you can have 3 more hits after that.
Exactly. Joyce Kahapuni misses that time. Oh, we got a net call anyway. So it's 5-2. USC jumps out to a lead. There's a good look at the tall front line of USC. Bad pass by Hawaii. All they can do is get it over. And USC gets a mix-up there in player communication.
Was it like one of those prayers?
Now, that's rare to see at this time of the year, as much as they've played.
Good serve. They just were able to get their hands on it.
Corey Pulaski barely gets the serve into the net. It's missed so badly. So USC leading 5-2.
That player right there, I think, has been the difference so far. Kim Ruddens has really mixed up the setting, and she's taking control of this game.
And also the blocking is evidenced right there by USC, continues to be impressive. They lead 6-2 now.
Kim Ruddens also, she has had some pretty tough people to follow. Debbie Green, who is on the national team right now, and Kathy Stuckel, who was a 4-time All-American and was the MVP all-tournament player last year in the NCAA.
Yeah, the setter at USC is very important because they play that 5-1 offense. You're going to be handling the ball on almost every play.
And as you mentioned, her hand, she broke her hand 3 weeks ago against UCLA, crashing into Tracy Clark. And she told me it doesn't bother her that much. And but I saw her the other game when they played San Diego State, and she got upset at herself and she hit the ground with her hand and just kind of came back and, oops, made a mistake there.
Serve's going to go out. USC leading 6-2. Hawaii's got to get something going here, and they know it. The dink will come up. Bad set that time. Hawaii does get it over.
Too close to the net.
Deetra Collins, I think maybe they're going to have to start thinking about going to her in the middle more when they can.
Here the ball came back, set to from Ka'apuni to Collins, and was able to put it by the blockers.
Leanne Pestana comes in for Hawaii, replacing Chris Pulaski. Nice little touch hit that time by USC.
There was not enough on that ball for Collins to get the ball back over the net. That was a good play by Smith.
And the USC blocking now is becoming overwhelming, as you see Chuck Irby, his assistant Kathy Stuckel, who Ann was mentioning is such a great player, sitting next to him. Tracy Clark, a little bit of smile on her face.
Hawaii, because they're hitting all their shots into the blockers right now, they're going to have to cover defensively a little bit better.
That's the play I think they've got to use more, going to Deetra Collins there in the middle when they can on the set.
That is what the Wahinis like to do, is go to the middle with Collins. But the thing is, too, when you have two blockers up, it's kind of tough. And that's why the smarter has to be aware of what is going on the other side, to who to set to.
Tracy Clark hitting cross court. She's really cooking now. As you can see, she can really get up, too. Only a freshman. A senior, Margaret Grant, puts the ball in play for the Trojans. There's Collins again, down the middle, side out. However, USC leads at 7-3 here in the second game. Won the first one 16-14. It's best of 5.
Good cross-court hit, but Hawaii was there defensively. Again, the Wahinis, they're trying to force USC to hit cross-court, and when they hit cross-court, they've got to be there defensively.
This, of course, is the match for the NCAA title. Deetra Collins of Hawaii puts it in play. Hawaii and USC playing each other. Oh, they bump it over in 2 because of the bad pass. Great dig by Dana Smith.
Bad set.
Bad set by Ruddens. Earlier in the battle for 3rd and 4th place, San Diego State came from behind and in the 5th game beat Stanford 16-14. Therefore, San Diego State is third, Stanford fourth.
And the score was 14-10 Stanford, and you said it'll be a miracle if San Diego State comes back, and they did.
Oh, they looked awful at that point. So now we're trying to decide who's going to be first and second. Hawaii will get it. Good mixing up that time. Kim Ruddens sets Tracy Clark. Let's look at it again.
Good save by Hawaii, bringing the bat, but a good pass up court. And USC is using a lot of variations on their sets right there.
Good backcourt player, Marcy Wirtz, comes in for Hawaii, giving Deetra Collins a rest. A big hit by Lisa Strand, but it was a bigger block by the USC Trojans. 9-6 they lead.
And Kim Ruddens was in that block.
That's some good blocking, in particular by number 5, Lisa Strand, the 6-foot sophomore from Santa Barbara.
Good rally coming in. Set right there by Ruddens. Good block, great block, and Smith was just couldn't get a hold of that one.
Chris Pulaski comes back in to join her sister and other teammates who are out there.
Again, mixing up the sets, running across right there with Clark putting the ball down.
And we're kind of locked into a little side-out battle here right now. Both teams are kind of deadlocked and even. Oh, bad pass that time by Lisa Strand. Volleyball comes down to a game of mistakes so many times, doesn't it, Ann?
You know, Friday night, Lisa Strand there just could not get the ball, but Hawaii right now is not passing the ball. But Lisa Strand against Stanford Friday night played super, and she just is not having the same kind of game that she did the other night. That right there was a great set because Corey Pulaski was off the net. So what's happening, Hawaii's getting their sets too close to the net, and a lot of times that's why the ball is going into the blocker, because the hitter does not have enough room to put the ball where she wants to put it, and that was a nice set.
Candy Kane into the game, giving Corey Pulaski a rest. Oh, nobody could do anything with that. I mean nobody.
Right, what happened, Ka'apuni was going to go up for it, but Chris Pulaski got in her way, and Chris she tried to get out of her way. She could not jump up because she was a backcourt player. Once you're in front of that 10-foot line, and as a back row player, you cannot leave the ground. So she could not even jump to block the shot.
Lisa Strand's hit goes out, but it doesn't matter because someone for USC touched the net. And so it's a side out as we're getting a wholesale substitutions here by Hawaii. We're getting Deetra Collins coming back in for Marcy Wirtz.
On substituting, Lynn, you have to be aware of how many substitutions you have, because if, let's say, Deetra Collins just went in for Candy Kane, and Deetra can only go in 3 times for that same person in a game. If she wanted to go in for a different person in another game, that's fine, but you only get 3 rotations for that one person.
Now here's about the only substitution you'll see USC making. Lisa Niedringhaus coming in, she'll serve.
Collins really got up for that one.
Oh, that's going to go over. A point for the Trojans, and they lead it 11-6.
Hawaii is a very emotional team, and the other night against Stanford, they Shoji did not let them loose until like about the 4th game, or towards the end of the 4th game. And they started to come on, and at the beginning of the 5th game, it was 5-0. And they've got to play a little bit more excited, and right now they're just not letting go.
As you can see, USC quite excited about winning that point, now taking a 12-6 lead. Lisa Niedringhaus, well, after they towel off the floor, serve the ball.
again, another block by USC. Great save right there. Ruddens, another good set. Smith right into the block, but it did not go over.
Ball is hit out. Was it touched? Yes, it was touched. Side out.
Sometimes you can get away with that, calling a no touch, because an official will miss it and everybody else will see it, but it doesn't matter because he has the call.
A quick set, and it works. As USC and Kim Ruddens, who calls the plays, by the way, out there when they're receiving the serve, continues to mix up the plays.
Great kill by Collins.
Yeah, that's their best play quite easily. Dietrich Collins down the middle. And we're going to have a quick substitution here. Leanne Pestana of Hawaii will come in, replacing Chris Pulaski. That serve was out. It's passed anyway by USC.
Smart play by Collins. Everybody was up.
Yep.
The blockers were up. You had 2-3 blockers up in the front court. Here it is again right here. 3 blockers up. Everybody was in the front court, only 1 back, and she hit the right spot.
They're so aware of her hitting down the middle. They had 3 up that time. Strand with a good hit down the line, but Ruddens is all over the block. Devereaux just taps it over.
And both those hits by Strand were from the back court.
That's a double. Lisa
rolled up her
Dietrich
arm.
Collins, yeah, got her rolling up her arms.
It was a good rally.
USC leading it 12-7. It's blocked, so it's a side out. That's a break for Hawaii right there as they had a sloppy set.
A real break because right now Hawaii is not passing the ball at all off the serve, and they've got to pull themselves together right now.
Marcy Wirtz giving Dietrich Collins a rest. Will serve it.
You ready?
Hawaii was lucky on that. Kim Ruddens, what it is when it gets in the middle of the net, their Strand puts it right. Great save by Johnson, or Smith, I'm sorry. And there they pushed it. It's like a jump ball almost. But Ruddens, Hawaii was lucky because Ruddens was able to push it back over on Hawaii's side.
And we have a side out. For USC, Janice Johnson comes in, replacing Lisa Niedringhaus. Johnson, of course, a strong frontline player. Much better because, well, for one thing, she's much taller than Niedringhaus. Pulaski with a big hit, but it hits the net. Kim Ruddens was the blocker that hit the net.
Pulaski really winds up when she gets over there on that left side.
Her sister, Chris Pulaski, will serve it now. Good serve. That ball just went over and died. Leslie Devereaux of USC couldn't get there in time. There's Leslie.
Leslie Devereaux is one of 5 players from El Toro. And there's another player, Tracy Clark, also from El Toro, both freshmen. A kill cross court by Tracy Clark right there. But there have been 5 players in this tournament that have been from El Toro. And from Stanford, Terry Bryson, another freshman. San Diego State had Angela Rock and Leslie's sister, Danielle Devereaux. So that's quite a compliment for El Toro.
Yeah, and you know, that's not too far from Coto de Casa, where Vic
right.
Braden has his tennis college and where the women's national team works out. So that, I guess you could say that's a hotbed of volleyball down there in southern Orange County, California. Big crush by Dana Smith. We haven't seen Dana hit too many in a long time. They've been going to Tracy Clark so often.
That was a big kill by Dana Smith. And you're speaking of the national team, as you said, Lynn, that Tana Vanderway, who would have played for USC this year, it's a big loss for them, I think, in the middle. And she's playing on the national team, and he's had 5-6 players from SC on the national team.
Very true. Yeah, it's amazing that USC got back to this championship game. They lost really 4 starters from last year. And yet here they are in the title game again. They are leading also 13-8 here in the second game over Hawaii. Big block.
Good block.
However, the second time around, Missy Yomes puts it away. What a crush. 8-13. Lisa Strand will serve for the Rainbow Wahinis. Oh, that's got to be a throw, doesn't it? Yeah, bad set by Kim Ruddens.
Well, it was a tough pass by Tracy Clark. Had a lot of spin on it. It was too close to the net.
9-13. Quick hit by Dana Smith.
Dana's starting to put the ball away a lot more.
There's not much you can do, and that sets right up on top of the net. The Hawaii players just aren't tall enough to go over the USC blockers.
It is. You hit it right into the blockers. As a matter of fact, it was a great block by Dana Smith. Devereaux did not get a hand on it, and the Hawaii players were covering up court where nobody was back court.
And once again, Hawaii goes to their bread and butter. Dietrich Collins puts it away. However, USC has 14 in the game. The dink, and a nice one by Dana Smith. So once again, it's point game for Hawaii. They won the first game 16-14. They'll go up 2 games zip with 1 more point. Everybody, I think, in the arena knows they're going to go to Dietrich Collins.
That's right. And that was a good, strong play by Collins. Again, the ball was in the middle of the net, and she just had enough power to push it back over on the USC side.
Rudden sets outside to Tracy Clark, and she puts it away. So it's a side out. Once again, game point for the Trojans.
Again, if Hawaii is going to force Clark to go cross court, they want to cover defensively, but nobody is covering defensively.
Uh-oh, Hawaii kind of mixed up. Dietrich Collins sets it way outside. It's a point for USC as Hawaii goes into the net. USC, therefore, wins the second game 15-9. But what a thrill to be able to play in an NCAA title game.
Well, that had to be a thrill for you to play in an NCAA title.
Yeah, it was the first couple times. Third time got to be a little bit of a drag.
So boring, huh?
Yeah.
Must be rough.
Okay, we're starting out 0-0 here. This is the first point. And it's a side out. And when you played volleyball at UCLA, how far did you go? Did they have national champions?
As a matter of fact, we did. They had more teams because it was AIAW
right.
championship, so there were more teams in the finals, and then it ended up going down to the 2 teams. But we played USC in the finals at Pauley Pavilion,
right.
Lost. We came in second, and then the next year we went up to BYU and lost to Hawaii in the semis, and then beat BYU for 3rd and 4th place.
Well, you played under a very good coach, Andy Banikowski, who is still coaching the Bruins.
That's right. He's one of the top in the country.
And we got a call here on USC, so very quickly, you saw Wink Davenport calling it, our referee. Very quickly, Hawaii leads in this game 2-0.
One of the things that Hawaii is going to have to do, and there, Ruddens goes to the middle, Smith missed it.
Devereaux hits it out, so it's 3-0.
SC was blocking so well in that second game. I mean, they were awesome. And so what they have to do is, instead of trying to power through the block and hit through the block, is use some off-speed shots, just like right there. What Janice Johnson did was dink the ball over the block, and that's what Hawaii has to do.
Hawaii should do that to USC,
right,
I think.
Dink and use the blockers, make the ball go out of bounds, and just hit right by them. Just get the ball over.
Well, they're trying something a little bit fancy. That's the problem, is when you go out of your game and you're in awe of that blocking, then you start to make mistakes, as we're going to see Hawaii did right here.
Right, pass right there. Second time that they have missed timing, and Strand, the ball goes over her hand.
And very quickly here, USC comes up with a couple points, so it's 2-3. Their backs are to the wall. University of Hawaii down 2-0. No, they did not get it up.
They called a lift on that play, and SC felt that they hit the ball with the fist, but it was an open palm.
Ball was touched. Even though it went out, the ball was touched, so it's a point. Or it's a side out.
In the championships like tennis, you have linesmen all around the corners keeping track of the lines and where the ball is and if the ball does go out. Best set in volleyball, an overset.
Yeah, if you're going to dig it, there's no point in digging it if it's going to go over just like that.
Great dig by Smith again.
Of course, in defense of the digger, it's hard to take something off the speed on that ball.
Right.
Just keep it on your side. It's coming so hard.
Down the line hit by Tracy Clark.
She is really starting to turn on with the hits here, Tracy Clark.
Well, she stands out. Smith has had some good hits too, but she's not as flashy or flamboyant as Clark. I mean, you really notice when Clark hits the ball.
Deetra Collins, great All-American right there for Hawaii. She's from Lancaster, California. Hawaii can just get it over. They'll go out. Clark will hit it again. And it's some great blocking by Deetra Collins.
Good rally right there. Again, as I had said earlier, Hawaii wants to get into a long rally and maybe wear USC out. Tracy Clark over on the left side. Great block by Hawaii.
Hawaii leading here in the third game. Long way to go, though. Great blocking by the Trojans. We've got a net call. Kim Ruddens, who's had some problems doing that tonight, into the net. That's a point for Hawaii. 6-2 they lead. And we're going to have a substitution. Chuck Irby sends Lisa Niedringhaus into the game. Yes, she is a defensive specialist. Great passer. Let's see if they pass to her. Or serve to her. No, they don't. They go to Dana Smith. Leslie Devereaux, it goes off the block.
That was a deep hit, and it was in the court, so even if they had not touched it, the point would have gone, side out would have gone to USC.
Lisa Niedringhaus having a good time. Just coming in and out of the game, yeah. Serve may go out. It's played anyway.
Great up.
Oh, great up by Hawaii is right. Tracy Clark hits the second one out.
Great
Let's
up.
look at her
USC.
first hit, which was dug.
It's Lisa Strand.
Oh, what a great play by Lisa
And then
Strand.
Ka'apuni got another great up. And both hits were cross court by Tracy Clark.
She's getting her workout, isn't she? Number 10, only a freshman, Tracy Clark.
Well, in a pressure situation, USC really likes to go to her because she's just so overpowering. And again, she does not play like a freshman.
Bad pass for Hawaii by Chris Pulaski. You just can't make mistakes like this in a title game. It's going to cost you. Gee, a serve was not that tough either. I think sometimes because of the caliber of play, we take the passing for granted. It really is certainly one of the important aspects of the game. Good hit by Dana Smith.
Not a very smart play by Yomes because the ball would have been out. You know, it was interesting before
There's your
the game.
signal by Chuck Irby, the USC coach, telling his players where to serve it. Serve to Deetra Collins, that's what they want.
Before the game, I was talking to some of the people, and they were saying that Hawaii had so much experience on their team. Ka'apuni being 27 years old and having so much international and national experience, and yet SC, who have 3 freshmen on their team, they're the ones playing with the confidence and the desire.
Great point, one of the longest and best of the match. Big hit by Dana Smith. She ends it. USC seems to not get tired in the long points. Let's look at some of the dinks here.
Great dives. Great dive by Tracy Clark. Another one by Yomes. Just dive and get a hand on it and the ball go up in the air. You know, I've mentioned a couple times, Lynn, that Hawaii wants to get into long rallies because they feel they can wear USC down. That's what the Hawaii coaches said. But looking at USC, I mean, Chuck Irby trains, they have 3-hour practices. And I look at the players they have, and they just seem to have more endurance. If they were to go into a 5-game match, they look like that they might have the stability to do it.
Yeah, even though they don't substitute as much.
Right.
Chris Pulaski for Hawaii serves it. Kim Rudden's good shot selection goes over in 2, surprising Hawaii.
It was not a good pass by USC from Margaret Grant, and she just dumped it over, and Hawaii was not there, and that's about the only thing that she could do.
Big block by the Trojans.
Again, USC blocking very, very well, and Hawaii not trying to do some other things. Pass by Corey Pulaski, a little bit close to the net. Well, no, it wasn't, but Kaupuni just hit right into the block.
Yeah, they just can't hit over that block, and that's been a big difference. So we're tied at 6 here in the 3rd game.
And because they cannot hit over the block, which they should try to be doing is brushing off the block. So the ball, again, will go out of bounds.
That's right. That's what you mentioned earlier. We haven't seen much of that. Of course, when you make bad passes like that, there's not much you can do at all. A little bit of a carry there, our left. We got a side out, says Wink Davenport.
That was with that broken hand.
Is it off the block? No, it is not. It's a point for Hawaii. They lead 7-6.
Barely got over the net.
Good try, broken hand and all by Kim Ruddens on the dive to try to get it up.
Down hit by Grant, ball just spinned off, and Johnson was yelling out, but Ruddens wasn't sure, went for it. They got the point.
No one touches it. Chuck Irby doesn't like it. He says it was touched. It's a point.
One of the lines people were calling a touch, but sometimes they hide themselves after they call it.
No, I didn't do that. 9-6, Hawaii leads. Oh, a mix-up after they get the dink up by Hawaii. Too bad, they had a good string there of points to go ahead 9-6.
And yet it was a smart play by Dana Smith. She was up for that #1 hit and could have powered the ball down, but instead tapped it. And as you said, Hawaii had a mix-up.
Oh, there's a high enough set by Lisa Strand.
The ball fell down on USC's side because they did not push enough on that block. You've got to make sure that you get your hands over the net.
But you can't do that until after contact's been made by the other team.
Right.
Jump set by Kim Ruddens, and Dana Smith jumps high to put it down. Dana Smith, a 5'10" junior. 1981, she was made the All-NCAA tournament team. Lisa Strand makes a quick recovery to pass it. Oh, there's a great, almost backcourt hit for Hawaii by Missy Yomes. I've been impressed with some of her hits.
That was a tough pass by Strand. They got the ball over to Yomes, and there was only one blocker up, and USC was out of position.
Chris Pulaski goes out. Leanne Pestana from Hawaii comes back in.
That's what Hawaii wanted, but Collins just forgot to turn her hands inside. And of course, after that hit, I'm not sure if it would have gone inside.
And there's Hawaii's strength in the middle. Deetra Collins hitting. Side out, 9-6. Hawaii leads her in the 3rd game. However, USC's up 2-0. Good serve. Big hit by Tracy Clark, but Pulaski with a fine dig. Deetra Collins, not that impressive of a hit, but it cannot be handled by Janice Johnson. as we come back here to the volleyball action. Got a side out here. USC will serve. Out comes Missy Yomes. And in comes Marcy Wirtz for Hawaii. Dietrich Collins, it's good. Side out.
USC had 3 blockers up on that, and Hawaii was able to put it down.
And Hawaii goes out in front 11-6. There's a good shot of the almost near capacity crowd here.
As we've seen in the last 2 games, in this 3rd game, every time the freshman has been in the back row for USC, Hawaii will try and serve them.
12-6, Hawaii goes out in front. Remember, including tonight's match, USC has not lost a game. They've won 14 straight games.
Good mix-up on the set right there by Ka'apuni.
Dave Shoji, the Hawaiian coach, showing the confidence right now in this, the 3rd game.
Nice pass by Collins. They had a cross on that on a back set, and they were able to put it away.
Oh, that's a bad pass. Big hit by Clark, though. Kim Ruddens made an outstanding set on what I thought was a bad pass.
Tracy Clark was a little bit excited on that one, too.
Oh, she really crushed that one. That had to feel good. 6-13, though. Well, there's what you were saying, Ann, that maybe Hawaii should mix up a little bit, but it didn't work that time.
Well, that's right, Lynn, but, you know, it was a tough block by Janice Johnson right there, but right there was only 1 blocker up. Again, right, Hawaii has a mix-up there for a free ball, and Strand should have put the ball away against Janice Johnson with the 1 block.
USC is going to try to fight back here now. It's 8-13, and Dave Shoji, the Hawaiian coach, decides he's going to slow down the team, try to cool them off, and talk it over. An excellent time to call a timeout, I think, because he's got to win this game, and he's got to win it quickly here.
Hawaii's controlling the tempo of the game a little bit more. In that 2nd game, SC was all over the place with their blocking. Hawaii could not do anything against it, and this game, Hawaii's been a little bit more versatile on their sets, a little bit bigger variety on where they're setting the ball, and so that's why they're winning right now. But as you said, USC's coming back strong.
Oh, we're going to have a double here. A double hit called on Hawaii. 9-13, USC trailing. Chris Pulaski will come in for Leanne Pestana. Oh, nice cross-court hit by the hammer, Corey Pulaski, 5'8" junior.
Served by Clark, deep pass by Collins, Ka'apuni. There they had the cross again, and they able to put it down.
As we come back live, Dana Smith goes up high and crushes one.
Again, as I had mentioned earlier, Dana Smith likes to go down that line, and she has several times.
Lisa Strand.
She finally got one up there.
You've got to be impressed with these 2 teams the way they're playing tonight, but you also, and looking ahead to next year, have to be impressed with their teams, as they have most of the good players for each team will be coming back. Oh, Dana Smith, you've got to like her jumping ability also. Wow, does she go up?
30-inch vertical. Great set by Reddens. Reddens gets way down to set that ball for her, and Smith just puts it down for the kill. Corey Pulaski, best setter, there can't even get it up.
No, very, very bad pass. It is now 10-13. USC says that they want to come back and win this game. Try to wrap up the match right here in the 3rd game. Big block. Again, Hawaii's got it up, though. Oh, that's a great hit by Lisa Strand.
Great rally. I was going to mention right before these 2 points that SC has gotten, good up right there, Strand put it down, and Clark could not get a hold of it. But I was going to mention before the 2 points that SC got that maybe there was a little, they were a little lackadaisical because they're 2 games up and maybe, you know.
It's easy to go to sleep.
Right,
sure.
but they have just come on right now and they've got the momentum where Margaret Grant just puts it down for a kill.
And like any sport, but maybe more so than others, volleyball is really one of momentum.
It is, because the only way you can change it is through a timeout. And, you know, like something like, again, putting it down. Hawaii did not get their block over, and the ball was able to come back over.
Wow, and as USC ever charged up, you can see it. There's the Hawaiian bench. They don't look too excited right now, even though they lead 13-11 in the game.
Play it up, Margaret!
Oh, that's some great playing by USC. That front line of theirs is awesome. Chuck Irby sitting over next to us is really getting excited. It is now 12-13. Dave Shoji, the Hawaiian coach, uses his second and last timeout of the game. Serving at 12-13 is the USC Trojans. Mistiming the short set was Dietrich Collins. And very quickly we're at 13-13, and USC is 2 points away from winning this NCAA title. There's some pressure on Hawaii now.
Janice Johnson, the freshman in the back row, just put her arms up at the last minute. Otherwise, that shot would have been out.
We're tied at 13. Remember, you must win the game by 2. Oh, bad pass that time. So USC, who had all the momentum going their way, Janice Johnson was the one who misplayed that. They'll probably come right back to server. They do. Makes a better pass this time. Hawaii can win the game right here. They do!
Well, Hawaii has 1 under their belt, which has got to make them feel good. But towards the end of that game, USC really had the momentum, and it had changed to their side, and I thought that they were going to take it.
I did too. I thought they were going to win it, and I think they kind of let it slip away there.
Yeah, Hawaii they haven't let down because they haven't gotten up, and I think that's been a big difference. Their emotional attitude right now, they're not into it like you see SC. They make a great shot, they're jumping on each other and congratulating each other. Hawaii doesn't have that same intensity.
There's a nice hit by Corey Polaski, but of course Hawaii is a little bit more of a veteran team, so maybe they're not going to be quite as emotional. Maybe they're going to be a little bit more businesslike in their mannerisms.
They were emotional against Stanford.
That was a 5-game match. Hawaii beat Stanford in the NCAA semifinals, looking at this last side out.
Good pass. Margaret Grant just put it down where Hawaii was not.
USC put away San Diego State in the other semifinal match. And as we mentioned earlier, San Diego State beat Stanford for 3rd place before this match started. Big hit by Leslie Devereaux goes out. No one touched it.
But it was out, fortunately. SC went to the middle. Ball came over, set to Ruddens, and she just hit the ball out. Yomes had put that one down, went right through the block. And Missy Yomes played a little bit better in that 3rd game for Hawaii. She had 4 kills.
Mix up on the set. I don't understand why.
That's the 2nd time
Margaret Grant would
that.
come in there and fool around with a pass that Kim Ruddens can obviously get to.
And basically the SC passing has been pretty good, and Ruddens has been able to get to where the ball is being passed.
Maybe she's a frustrated setter at heart.
Kind of like me. They used to call me Stone Fingers.
Oh, I think everybody kind of pictures themselves as a setter in volleyball. USC can't get it up. Certainly setting with the 2 hands is one of the prettier plays, and I think one of the more fun plays to make in volleyball. spike also being fun if you can get up and hit down. That's a great dig. They're going to call net, though.
It hit the antenna.
Oh, hit the antenna, okay.
One of the few times Tracy Clark has gone down the line.
And Hawaii is out in front 3-1 here in game number 4. Quick set. Hawaii was ready for it. Three blockers are up, and they've got it for USC.
That was a nice soft set by Kaupuni. The ball was so high, but yet she should have gone outside because SC has 3 blockers up, and Collins couldn't do anything with the ball.
There's a lot of open court to hit to when you got 3 blockers up. Dink or something like that. Clark is blocked by Dietrich Collins. What a block.
That was a real nice block by Dietrich Collins.
3-1, Hawaii still leading. Oh, that is some fine play at the net by USC.
You have to really have quick reactions, as Janice Johnson did right there. When the ball comes over the net, that overset like that, you've got to be able to get up very, very quick to hit the ball, and that time she did.
Side out. We're stuck here on 3-1. Chuck Irby. Kathy Stuckel is assistant coach, just to his immediate right. There's the dink. They want the call for USC going over, but there is no such call. Side out.
Well, what happened to initiate that? They're the dink by SC, and really, Chris Pulaski had to dive for that and get it, just the ball up.
Yeah, it was close, so USC might have reached over on that. And we're stuck here on side outs. Remember, you can only score when your team is serving. For instance, Hawaii can score right here. And they might. Oh, bad set. She gets a chance to come back. Dana Smith down the line. It's dug, though, by Pulaski, but not well enough.
That was a good dig by Chris Pulaski just to get the ball up, and Corey Pulaski went over the net. Here, come down with the spike, Dana Smith, and the ball just kept going in the net. And there you see Corey Pulaski over.
Oh, that's a good up by USC, too. 3 blockers up on Lisa Strand.
That's right. It was not a good set right there.
Dana Smith hitting off the block of Corey Pulaski. And USC has a point. It's 2-3. There's a shot at Dana Smith.
When I said good set, it was not a smart set because, as you said, Lynn, there were 3 blockers up.
A lot of firepower on the outside there from USC, as we've mentioned all night. Dana Smith, number 4, can hit from one side. Tracy Smith from the other.
It's tough when you have 2 hitters like that they're always coming at you. You got Dana Smith in one rotation and Tracy Clark in another rotation.
And that's what these women can do when they get an open court without any blocker up. Watch Corey Pulaski here.
She just puts it away. And that ball travels 70, 80 miles an hour for the women.
Dave Shoji yelling to his blockers there.
That's it. Nice serve.
Ball goes out.
That is a smart serve right there, what Corey Pulaski is doing. It's a tough serve just to get the ball over the net. But Dana Smith is in the front, and they're trying to serve to her so they can't come back and set her. It's tough to come back off that. She was able to use the block there, but the point before, Hawaii got.
It makes it also awfully tough when physically when you have to make 2 of the 3 hits. It's going to tire you out. But as you mentioned earlier, I don't think USC is showing any signs of fatigue. Oh, that's a great save. They go to Yomes again, but it's blocked. Great block on Tracy Smith. Clark, rather. This is probably the longest point of the match.
This is what the fans like to see.
That's going to go out. Oh, the crowd will like that.
That was a great rally.
We just had what we think is easily the longest point of the match. In fact, it was so long we had a timeout. Let's look at some of it again.
Deidre Collins made some great ups just to get the ball up in the air. Hawaii back over, free ball. Smart sets by both teams. Ball just went off Chris Pulaski's shoulder and out of bounds.
Okay, it's a point for USC as we come back live. They lead now 5-4 here. Only one game away from victory in the match, leading 2-1. Missy Yomes doing a good job of hitting off the block that time. Missy Yomes is only 5'7". I say only because most of these players are much taller. Now she's going to go over and talk to Wink Davenport, the referee.
No, that was a side out. That was a side out, the long rally, because they had served. I had it in my hand here. That was a side out. They called the timeout.
She has the timeout after a point.
No, the timeout was after a rotation. The timeout was after a rotation. Just put it in that way, and we're going to play like this. Right, Deed?
It was Wink Davenport telling Sue Lemaire how it's going to be. Oh, wait a minute. Now they are going to perhaps change the score.
I haven't taken any point away. I haven't done anything yet.
Chuck Irby, the USC coach, and Sue Lemaire not exactly having a friendly conversation. I think they're taking a point away from USC, and that's why he's obviously concerned.
Well, what Davenport had mentioned, too, is a point was not actually taken away because there was no point to be given.
Great controversy. I love it. I love it. They're the Hawaiian coaches talking it over.
So the score sheet says we should be 4-4. After the long rally, it was a side out, right?
Now what's happened is it has gotten to be so long that players are getting a little bit cold, trying to move around, a little bit stagnant right now.
Go by the score sheet.
So there it is. The score sheet is what we're going to go by. We're going to take a point off the scoreboard by USC. It's going to be a 4-4 tie, as Wink Davenport indicates.
Now, your front row. Okay.
We had that long rally, and then, of course, we had the timeout, and USC rotated. They should not have. It was just a side out. Anyway, we're back to action where we want to be. Ball goes out. Now, Hawaii takes a 5-4 lead.
This could be a factor in the game. You never know because of the fact that everybody was standing around. You just saw Tracy Clark hit that ball long.
Well, I think you lose that high concentration level a little bit. Now you got to get it back if you're.
And Devereaux goes down with her ankle.
Yeah, I think Leslie Devereaux may have an injury. She broke her foot early in the year, and it may be still a little bit weak and tender. Let's look and see Leslie Devereaux, number 11. Yes, she collided with her teammate and then came down on the side of her ankle, and she's still a little shaken up. But they don't want to substitute for her. She's on the front line there. She's a front line player. There's the dink that you had wanted and talked about earlier, Ann Myers, and it certainly worked that time as USC ended up hitting the ball out. We're back to the action now as Hawaii's on a roll. 8-4 they lead as they score quickly.
Janice Johnson again in the back row.
That's a point by Hawaii with a great block on Tracy Clark's hit.
Hawaii getting a little bit excited out there, and that's what they need. The crowd's getting behind them too.
The crowd's always for the underdog. Hawaii down 2-1. Off the block, the hit goes by Margaret Grant, side out. However, USC down 4-9. Great side out by Hawaii. We're going to have a substitution here in just a moment.
It's kind of a tough pass for Chris Pulaski to handle, but she got it up there for Collins to put down for the kill.
Leanne Pestana comes in, and coming out is Chris Pulaski. Missy Yomes, no one touches it. She hits it out. Side out. In case you joined us, I'm Lynn Shackelford along with Ann Myers. You're watching the NCAA Women's Division I Volleyball Championships from Stockton, California, UOP campus.
USC in their rotation right now basically only have 2 hitters, and Hawaii gets a side out there, but because they only have 2 hitters, Kim Ruddens is in the front court, and so only 2 players will be able to jump on offense because Ruddens will not be able to, she will not be spiking. And on defense she can go up, but it puts USC at a little bit of disadvantage because they only have the 2 hitters.
Lisa Niedringhaus comes in and gives Leslie Devereaux with that tender foot a much needed rest. Uh-oh, missed time on the set. Dietrich Collins couldn't get it. That hurts. Hawaii had a chance to go up 10-4. There's the USC front line, an awesome one. And a tall one. Dana Smith interfering under the net. Side out. Substitution. Marcy Wirtz from Corona Del Mar, California, 5'7" junior, coming in, giving Dietrich Collins a rest. Backcourt specialist, Marcy Wirtz. Ball hit the antenna. Dana Smith hit that. Point for Hawaii. They lead 10-4. You're watching NCAA Volleyball Championships right now. USC hits the ball out. And yes, it is a live Hawaiian team right now.
USC was calling for a touch right there, did not get it.
Oh, they wanted a hold by Kim Reddens. I thought she held it too, but there was no call. Side out. Look at it again. Did it stick in her hand?
That's where Reddens is so vital, where she can either set the ball or just dump it over.
Dana Smith into the net there. Side out. 11-4. Hawaii leading. They'll be serving.
Even though Dana Smith went into the net, Hawaii was very smart and lucky on that play that they used the blockers so the ball went out of bounds.
Oh, Marcy Wirtz lets the ball go, but it is good. Side out.
Coach Shoji was saying that Hawaii should have been up to block on that. It gave USC a little bit of an advantage just to put the ball down wherever they wanted to.
Leslie Devereaux comes back in as she's rotated into the front line. Point for USC. Still a long way to climb back, though, in this game. They're down 11-5.
But right now, the momentum is shifting to USC, and Hawaii has to get the ball back right here. 2 points right away.
It's a nice block by Margaret Grant.
It's really tough to stop a momentum change, except with the timeouts. And Hawaii really has to get the ball back and try and use the blockers now.
They've got 1 timeout left. Dave Shoji, the coach, almost called it, but he's got to wait. It's too early, he thinks. He may have to. Here comes USC, 11-7.
Good save by Hawaiʻi, and Strand just overpowered and pushed the ball back over onto the USC side.
Okay, let's see if that timeout worked and see if Hawaiʻi can get the momentum back. It goes off the block. There's what you were talking about again, and they serve Dana Smith, so she has to hit 2 of the 3 balls, but she does hit it off the block well. However, it must have tired her out because she just served out.
Well, at this point, Dana Smith, who is playing in the back row right now, has 7 kills for this game.
So she is getting a workout. Deetra Collins returns to the lineup for the Rainbow Wahinis from the University of Hawaiʻi.
Gotta go.
Oh, tough block. Actually, Deetra Collins should have let that hit by Tracy Clark go.
Well, what happened, Deetra Collins was the only one up on the block. Kaupuni slacked off. Here she drops back, as you can see, and again, the cross-court hit by Tracy Collins, or by Tracy Clark. Collins was caught in the middle, and the ball went off her hand.
A football? I think she called a football on number 8, Margaret Grant. And unlike tennis, you only get 1 try. So it's a side out. Leanne Pestana, 5'9" sophomore from Oahu, comes in. Oh, a bump, high bump set. Tracy Clark with a nice hit. Hawaiʻi can't save it.
Great up by Strand, but the ball had too much rotation, too low into the net. It did not get enough bounce out of that net.
It's a game of momentum, and I'm wondering, as Leslie Devereaux looks over where to serve the ball, if USC's starting to pick up a little bit of momentum. Deetra Collins, good hit down the middle.
Well, it's nice when you can get it right back like that, going to Deetra Collins. Good up by Kaupuni.
Lisa Strand hits it. It's good. Right on the back line. She's happy about that. Number 5, Lisa Strand, a sophomore from Santa Barbara.
And she's a back row hitter right there, hitting behind the 10-foot line. As long as you're a back row player and you're behind that white line, you can jump up in the air, and it hit on the back line on USC's side.
Right where she aimed it. Niedrenhaus, kind of a sloppy pass. Great hit by Tracy Clark. We've got someone into the net.
Collins.
Okay. Looking at it one more time.
Great hit by Clark.
Yeah,
Kaupuni
Collins
got it up in the air, but Collins went in the net.
Yeah, it looks like she hit it with her back. Sista Palakiko comes in, number 14 for University of Hawaiʻi.
You're good with those Hawaiian names.
Yeah, I should go there more often, shouldn't I? Going to their bread and butter, Deetra Collins down the middle, but the USC blocks it effectively. Hitting the antenna once again, Dana Smith. Costly error. It is now 12-7 Hawaii. Hawaii just 3 points away from tying this match up at 2 games apiece. Serve's gonna go way out.
Hawaiʻi has had a tough night serving.
Oh, bad pass by Collins, 8-12. Dave Shoji just doesn't waste any time. Deetra Collins, a little bit tired. Get her out of there and let Marcy Wirtz, backcourt specialist, handle these passes.
Well, I haven't been keeping count, but I don't know if that's the last time Collins can come into the game.
Right.
And
yeah, there's a
maybe that's why Shoji hesitated, as a matter of fact, because of the fact she might not be able to come back into the game.
Well, he's basically got to play all of his cards, though. Of course, he can't play him too early. He's used up all his timeouts, and here comes USC. It's 9-12. Corey Pulaski, second time, gets it away.
Put it down for the kill.
There's the hammer, as they call her.
Did you ever have a nickname?
The Machine. It's because I never missed in basketball.
Oh.
What was your nickname?
Never had one.
Ann Myers, huh? Leslie Devereaux will come in for USC. USC serving. Oh, great serve. It was going to be good. So USC can't get the block up. That's a big side out right there for Hawaii.
Strand is starting to play a little bit better. USC did not get their block over the net. That's why the ball fell down on their side.
Missy Yomes, an outstanding hitter. I've been impressed with her play tonight coming in.
Really, the two All-Americans for Hawaii have not played that well tonight. They have
Corey
had
Pulaski missed that serve.
a lot of service errors, not
And
very good passing.
Passing errors too, right. There's a nice hit. I like her. Missy Yomes, 5'7" junior.
Well, Collins did not use up her rotation, so she's back into the game.
Yeah, I'm sure he would not have substituted if she were not going to be able to come back in. Leslie Devereaux puts it down, side out. Ball goes out. Point to USC, 10-12.
It's too bad because USC really did not have any blockers up on that one, and Kaupuni did not get any wrist action on that.
Out again, 11-12. Now the problem is Dave Shoji of Hawaii, the coach, has used up his 2 timeouts. Correction, the ball was tipped.
Well, they were fortunate again on that.
Yeah.
Deidre Collins did not hit down. She just pushed it out, and it sailed, and it was fortunate there was a tip.
Chris Pulaski, there's a big one right there. It's a bad set by USC. Pulaski could go up and hit it.
Chris Pulaski's really playing tough. She's right on the ball and put it down.
They give the point to USC, or to Hawaii rather, as USC was over.
Well, no, actually, Lynn, what happened, Kim Ruddens was in the net.
Suddenly it's game point for Hawaii, 14-10, 2 straight. Geez, the momentum's changed fast. Great block by Collins on the hit by Tracy Clark, and Hawaii has won their 2nd straight game. So we'll watch for if one team is getting tired. We'll watch it, maybe tired both physically and maybe lose your concentration. Or we'll see if one team looks like they're just coming alive with a lot of strength.
That last game, USC went to Dana Smith a lot more than they did with Tracy Clark. Dana Smith had 7 kills.
That's a big side out to start the game. Corey Pulaski, the hammer, hammers one. It's that big front line that you're looking at for USC. And Hawaii gets on the scoreboard first.
Strand has been able to push the ball over 3 or 4 times tonight. Here the ball is right up on the net. There's the dink. Kaupuni puts it right on the net, and Strand just muscles it over.
There's a smart play by Dana Smith, number 4 of USC. She just dinked it, threw the blockers off and their timing completely. Watch out, it's coming over to us, Ann.
Oh, I missed it.
Again. That was what you call a bad pass when it gets over our way. We're tied at 1 because of that bad pass.
Nice serve.
Missy Yomes hitting it off the block, side out.
USC not getting their block over the net. Yomes just hit a great hit.
Take her, Joyce.
Janice Johnson, the freshman from Wheaton, Illinois, missing it.
Throughout the whole evening, that's where they've gone in the back row, is to Janice Johnson.
Lisa Strand serves it there again. This time it's an excellent pass. Missy Yomes hit it right into the net.
Not too happy with herself.
They have misjudged the timing on that short set a couple times tonight. Chris Pulaski and Dietrich Collins for Hawaii. Down the line, it is touched, it's good, it's a side out, and we're tied at 2.
Smart play. Hawaii has not gone down the line too many times tonight, but that time they had a touch on that ball also.
Down the line, no one touches it. It is just simply missed by Margaret Grant.
Here's a back set by Kim Ruddens, goes down the line, no touch, out of bounds. Good cross play right there. Hawaii got caught standing.
Yeah, she just simply went way over anyone that was going to try to block that. Tracy Clark, number 10. A double on the pass.
Hit Corey Pulaski way up high on the shoulder.
Wink Davenport, our referee, made that call. So it is a 3-3 game, last game. This is for the NCAA title right here. It's not touched, it hits the net and goes out. What an excellent choice there made by Hawaii, letting that ball go.
Tracy Clark missed that. It was a great set by Kim Ruddens. Nobody was there on Tracy Clark, and all she had to do was put it in the court, and she missed it.
She didn't miss that one, Tracy Clark.
She didn't miss Kaupuni either.
No. Almost gave her a facial.
Outside set, down the line. Again, not too many times Tracy Clark has gone down the line.
Good shot selection by Kim Ruddens. Dave Shoji and his assistant Dean Nowak didn't like that result. Whoa, that was a tough one to call. She finally let it go out. It was just out, side out.
She had a little help from the bench. The bench was yelling out at the last minute.
Good little short serve. Margaret Grant misplaced the pass.
And like I said, that's a tough serve even to serve because it just barely makes the net right to Margaret Grant. She wasn't ready for it.
Wesley Devereaux passes it badly. Hawaii's on a roll as the ball is hit out. It's 5-4 Hawaii.
Corey Pulaski hit that left-handed to get the ball back over the net.
Dietrich Collins chalking up some points for her team as a server. Out. Off the head, I think, of Lisa Strand. And Hawaii looks like they are alive right now. They lead 6-4.
Good spike right there. Good up by Kaupuni. Another set by Strand. And there the ball goes out of bounds.
Chuck Irby belatedly calls timeout here, the USC coach. So we're looking at Hawaii leading here 6-4. This is the final game. Hawaii came in as the #1 seed in the NCAA tourney.
Dietrich Collins right now has 3 service aces in the match.
And of course, an ace in volleyball is any serve that is not returned.
Right.
As opposed to an ace in tennis, any serve that is not touched by the opponent. It's considered an ace in volleyball even though you touch it.
What happened on that last serve, Dana Smith stepped right into it to pass the ball, and they're trying to keep the ball away from her.
Lisa Devereaux passing. Down the line, Tracy Clark's shot is good. That's a side out, an important play there. She'll serve Dietrich Collins, I would think. Yes, she does. Good pass. Good short set. Lisa Strand hits it off the blockers. Side out, and is Hawaii ever full of a lot of confidence at this point?
Great dump off by Kim Ruddens. A lot of people don't like that.
I suppose they're booing. They think it's kind of a hold or a carry. It was looked awfully good.
Right through the block.
They have to hit this one over.
Free ball.
Too many mistakes that time by Hawaii and giving USC too many opportunities.
Here's the replay right here. Pulaski hitting it deep, getting it set up. Margaret Grant, or Janice Johnson, putting it over.
Marcy Wirtz, number 8, comes in. Dietrich Collins comes out.
They almost missed that one. Hawaii almost missed that play again. They called Kim Ruddens for double hit. You know, one of the reasons USC has been playing better, especially not only in this match, but to get here, to get to the Nationals, is the fact that Chuck Irby moved Margaret Grant to the right outside hitter from the middle blocker, and that's really helped her game a lot.
They've won 10 in a row since that time.
Go, 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 go.
Dana Smith hitting out. USC making a few mistakes here and there, and they're down 7-5.
There's a dink by Yomes. SC gets the ball up, and Dana Smith hits it out.
She didn't hit that one out, but it was dug. Missy Yomes. Missy Yomes, only 5'7", hitting it off the blockers.
Good set by Chris Pulaski to get there, and Yomes, again, as you said, off the blocker. What happens right now, at 8 points, the score is 8-5 with Hawaii leading. Whoever scores 8 points in the 5th game, both teams switch ends of the court.
USC has already used one timeout here in the 1 of 2 allotted in the last game. As we discussed earlier, that's the best way to stop momentum, and it appears that Hawaii's got that right now. Some great blocking by USC at this point.
Great save.
Still alive.
Hawaii is really moving well defensively.
The big play, though, in this point was made by Margaret Grant, the 6'2" senior rather.
Well, it was a one-on-one situation. There's a dink right there. Good up. Kaupuni sets to Lisa Strand. One-on-one situation, and Janice Johnson got the block. They called 4 hits on that. The ball never went over the net.
USC coming right back now, 6-8.
Through the block. It's the middle blocker's responsibility to close that gap. SC, there they get the ball back over, and they did not close that block, and Hawaii was able to hit it over.
Just out that serve was by Lisa Strand. 6-8. Oh, Dietrich Collins had a wide open shot. She tried to hit the sharp angle, hit the tape of the net, and bounced out. Lynn Shackelford along with Ann Myers. You're watching from the University of the Pacific in Stockton, California. Hawaii play USC for the NCAA Women's Division I title. That's going to be a double right there. It'll be a side out. Hawaii is leading here in the 5th and final game, 8-7. First one to 15, must win by 2.
Janice Johnson tried to get out of the way on that one. Could not move quick enough.
Was it touched? Yes, it was. That's a point for Hawaii. 9-7, they jump into the lead. 2 great volleyball powers, the 2 best teams in the country this year, most experts would agree. Tracy Clark off the block. Hawaii won a national title in 1979. USC won the first NCAA title last year, trying for their 3rd straight national title overall. Oh, nice little delay by Dietrich Collins.
was going to say they almost missed that one again. Dietra was up in the air before the set got there. She was coming down and was able to get a hand on it where she's going down, and it dropped on her.
She waited for the blockers to come down. Tracy Clark hitting off the block well.
She's hitting off of people's heads well, too.
It's 9-7. Leslie Devereaux, only a freshman. What a pressure place to be. A little bit of a break as Tracy Clark's spike hit the net, and that threw off the defense. I think they would have dug it otherwise.
That was a tough spike by Pulaski way outside, and Clark way from the back. Pulaski pulled up instead of getting position and trying to dig it. Nice pass.
Great dig that time. Wonderful play that time by Corey Pulaski. The crowd likes it. Corey Pulaski, number 7, an All-American. Side out.
Dietra Collins had a great spike, and Margaret Grant had a great up to get it back over.
Well, Tracy Clark's dink didn't go down, but it eventually was not able to be played by Hawaii, so it was a good shot. Each team has one timeout left. Lisa Strand hits it into the net. Point for USC, and we're tied at 9.
That set right there, it was a great pass. Here, SC gets a ball, free ball, great pass. Ka'apuni did not get the ball over the net, so Strand, all she could do was hit into it.
Oh, there's a great block that time by Kim Ruddens. And she likes it too. Points are coming fast now.
Nice hit by Strand.
Really picking her location, Lisa Strand, sophomore from Santa Barbara. Corey Pulaski gets the point back, and there's, you ever want to be a coach? He looks like he's under a little pressure. Dave Shoji for Hawaii.
The serve right now to Margaret Grant in the back row.
Wonderful backcourt hit by Tracy Clark of USC.
Good up.
Yeah, she made a good up.
And again, from behind the 10-foot line, put it down for the kill.
We are tied at 10. Joyce Ka'apuni misplayed that hit. USC goes in front 11-10. And Hawaii calls that timeout. That's their second timeout.
Right now, the Wahinis have to pull themselves together, get a little bit excited again, try and pump each other up, because every time they do that, they seem to turn the momentum to their side, and SC right now has it. So again, with the help of that timeout, maybe Hawaii can pull themselves together.
From what I've seen of Hawaii, I don't think they're a team that's going to fold up under the pressure, and there is a lot of pressure right now.
Well, they've got too much experience and too much national experience as far as outside of collegiate volleyball.
That set's going to go over too.
Great side out right there.
Lisa Strand, number 5 for Hawaii, looking awfully good.
The ball right there on the net, pushing it over. Rudden's nice play by Kaapuni by keeping it on her side. She could have had the one hit back over to USC, but instead she kept the ball on her side where Hawaiʻi was able to get the side out.
Taking a lot of time on this substitution as we see Missy Yomes come back into the contest for Hawaii.
Missy Yomes has 4 kills in this game right now.
Yeah, you got to have her in there on the front line. Block was out. Boy, that was a close call. Excellent block by USC, but it just went out.
And you can see how Hawaii has gotten a little bit more excited, as we were saying.
Now here's a tough substitution, tough time to come in. Candy Kane, number 11, comes in. Let's see if she can serve a sweet serve. She does!
Right to the freshman, Leslie Devereaux.
A miss serve by Hawaii as we come back to action. Hawaii was leading 12-11, so it's a side out. Candy Kane turned sour on us, and she's going to come out of the game.
And that was a good call by Chuck Irby, calling that timeout, making Candy Kane think about that serve.
Oh, there's a bad pass. Could be a point for USC. Oh, Dana Smith missed the dink totally. What a break.
Not very happy with herself on that one.
Ruth Berkey, the assistant executive director of the NCAA, just came by and told me this is one of the most exciting matches she's seen. Dana Smith misses again. Or check that, no, she made that.
I couldn't tell either, she hit that thing so hard.
Well, let's look at it one more time.
It's on the replay. Great up by Ruddens.
Yeah, she did.
Right into Collins.
Back live, USC trying to get a point. Yes, it is a point. It's good. Hit down the line by Tracy Clark, and we go to 12-12.
2 strong kills by both Dana Smith and Tracy Clark, and the momentum has shifted again.
She missed the dink again. Actually, last time it was Dana Smith, this time Tracy Clark. So the freshman, they're trying to get her to relax a little bit, calm down. Leanne Pestana for Hawaii comes into the contest. Mix up by Hawaii, no one knows who to bump it over. We've got a whistle. A double on Hawaii. A double is the call by Wink Davenport, the referee.
Fans not too happy with that call.
Oh, the crowd didn't like it. The reason it was a delayed call. Let's see if we can find it.
You can't really tell. It looked like a good set. Of course, we're not sitting over on the other side.
We're tied at 12. Quick set, Dietrich Collins puts it away.
Great kill by Dietrich Collins. Here it is again on replay. SC had to get a free ball over there, nice pass, good set, and just put it away for the kill.
Crowd of 4,000 plus here, loving the action on the campus of the University of the Pacific, Stockton, California. Oh, she didn't have to touch it, Lisa Strand. I think it might have gone out, but she did. Side out. Ball hits the antenna. Side out.
SC was lucky because both officials were watching the ball at that time, and I saw one of the USC players hit the net. And so USC
And so did one of the Hawaii players.
Right.
Corey Pulaski was yelling about it. Backcourt specialist, Marcy Wirtz coming in. Dietrich Collins goes out for the rest. Oh, bad pass. Kim Rudden hits it over in 2. Could be a point. We've got a net call on the Trojans, and it is a point. 13-12, Hawaii takes the lead.
little bit of a partisan crowd here for Hawaii.
Side out. Remember, USC won the first 2 games. Hawaii came back to win the next 2. Hawaii leading 13-12 here in the final.
Smart play by Corey Pulaski. They weren't too happy with that set by Kaupuni.
Down the line goes Corey Pulaski, showing why she's an All-American. That's a long point.
Another long rally right here. And I think what happens is the officials even get caught watching the play. Corey Pulaski just put that one away, but the USC coach wanted a double hit by Kaupuni, but sometimes the officials get caught watching too.
Okay, Hawaii can go up 14-12 right here. They do! Match point for Hawaii right now. Bad pass. Kim Rudden has to go over and 1. We got a double call here on Hawaii.
What has happened, Kim Rudden's playing the front. She is a setter on USC's team. She has 11 kills in this game because of the way she dumps the ball over.
Oh, sloppy play by Hawaii. The ball goes out. Dana Smith again misses a hit. Trying to cut it too fine, go by the blockers. She missed down the line. Second time it's been match point for the Rainbow Wahinis. They